Hey there, it's Scott Fox from ExpertWebsiteReviews.com. Here today we're going to talk about CandiceCole.com. This is a free review that Candice won as a pledge drive donor for Art Fair Calendar and ArtFairInsiders.com. Candice, happy to help you out today, and if you are watching this later on YouTube or at ExpertWebsiteReviews.com, my blog at ClickMillionaires.com, or anywhere else, and you'd like advice like this, please head over to ExpertWebsiteReviews.com, and I'd be happy to give your website a going over as well. So let's talk about CandiceCole.com. This is a recently redesigned site showcasing Candice's beautiful hand-woven fashions. You can see they're going on here in a slideshow, and really beautiful stuff, Candice. Obviously, you've been doing this for a long time and are very, very good at it. So I'm not going to have any commentary on the fashion other than it's very attractive, and congratulations on what looks to be a very successful business, and deservedly so. What we're going to talk about instead today is the website and how to help you make some more money, basically. When you wrote in to me about your site, here it is, we talked about you wanted me to focus on your online shopping cart and how to how to set up a way for customers to sign in for future email notices of additions to the collection or upcoming shows. Not surprisingly, your target audience is women aged 30 to 65 who are looking for a new item or maybe something they've seen on one of your other customers. Okay, so that all makes sense, and we're off to a great start here. This is a very attractive looking site. So let's see what we can do to pick on it. Unfortunately, that's my job here. As a web design consultant, I want to look at this in terms of usability and sales conversion potential and really help you maximize the marketing impact and the revenues of this site. And I do have a few suggestions, of course. So let's talk about it and go through line by line and page by page to the extent we can. And I'm going to make your website designer upset, I think, by the end of this, of course, but that's my job here. And I'm doing this in order to help you sell more of these beautiful garments and to increase the success that you've already had online up to the next level. So I hope you'll take this all in good fun and good spirit and take what you need of it to improve your site as I recommend, or along with other ideas that might be inspired by this conversation. All right, well, there's Candice herself right there. Hello, Candice. Good to see you. Let's see. So looking over the site in preparation for this video review, I wanted to point out a couple things. Let's see. The big issue, I guess, I'll just hit it right off from the start here, is you've got two totally different sites here. There's this very attractive CandiceCole.com, and then you've got your store over here, which is also a very nice looking site. But one is black and one is white, and it's really pretty jarring from a customer's point of view. You're obviously used to it, and I'm sure you didn't do this on purpose. I know it's difficult to weave together, haha, but I didn't intend that pun, but it is appropriate, to weave together the functionality of a good store, online store and shopping cart, along with the display functionality of making and presenting art in a fashionable and attractive manner. So I know that's difficult. So I want to make sure you understand that I understand that, but let's see what we can do to sort of integrate these two sites a bit better so that the customer isn't left with this sort of one or the other sort of experience. More particularly, let's talk about what we can do to improve your sales and increase the click-throughs for your email signups, which is what you asked about. All right, let's get specific. First of all, you've got this very nice slideshow here that's showing off the work that you have, and I can certainly understand your instinct to want to show off the work you have. It's beautiful. The problem is that you're using an immense amount of space to do this on this site. You can see this slideshow takes up well more than half of the visible above the fold real estate when a customer arrives. Now that's fine if they like what they see here, but there's a couple problems as well. First of all is that they only see one thing at a time unless they stick around. For example, if I arrived and I looked and I saw this orange jacket, and assuming I was your target market, of course, and interested in this sort of thing, if I didn't like this orange one, I might just leave. You're only showing one thing at a time. Now, of course, you're going to say, well, they'll stick around and then they'll see the next slide. Well, yeah, they will if they stick around, and that's a huge assumption. Attention spans on the internet are extremely short, and I'm not a fan of these big slideshows, as beautiful as your work is, because here again, oh, beautiful blue jacket. Well, maybe I hate blue, or I was looking for scarves, or I was looking for something else, a vest, and I think, oh, this lady only does jackets. I'm out of here. And the problem with the slideshow is you only can show one thing at a time. And people try to split the difference, obviously, by having the rotation that you're doing here. but that doesn't solve the problem. I'd say it solves it, maybe 50%, but not 100%. And you want to solve these things 100% if you're going to maximize your sales. So what do? Well, you do something more actually like this slide, right? We have several things at once, and it gives people an opportunity to say, oh, I don't like these kimono-looking things. This is what I was looking for, or this one is what I was looking for. And it gives them an opportunity to explore without them having to do any work, and that's the key. You want to give a good first impression that makes the site easy to use. And the problem with some of these other slides is you're requiring me to do more work and say, okay, well, that wasn't quite what I want. Now I have to go find it, right? And I have to look through all these. You have so many links here, right? Look at all this stuff. And this isn't even the store. You're just giving them a lot of things to research. And my goal with the store is not to offer people things to research, is to give them what they want as quickly as possible with as few clicks as possible. Now, you've done that more below. See here, this makes more sense to me. This is a more standard store approach. And in fact, your store does exactly that, right? Here's a whole bunch of stuff all at once. Oh, this is the one I want right here. Bang. Okay, so I think, I'm not sure how you're marketing these two. If you're somehow marketing the store to a different audience or different online, or it's a mail campaign or something, and this one is being marketed differently than this one. But I think you need to merge these two approaches. It's very pretty, but I see this a lot with artist sites. The site is more pretty than functional, especially when it comes to making sales. So, as beautiful as this is, I would replace that. Again, this is me, and you don't have to do everything I say, obviously, but I would move more towards something like this that picks your several best works and just put them all out there. Maybe you've got 2 slides or something if you're really in love with that slide thing. But these slides came into big fashion maybe 5 years ago with the rise of WordPress. And people just think they're so cool because it means that they can not have to pick one thing to focus on when they're designing, and they can squeeze a bunch of stuff into a slideshow and feel like they're serving a bunch of purposes at once. The problem is they're serving your purposes as the site designer and owner, not the purpose of the customer who's here to do this. And here's my real point. You can even, if you don't like anything I said in the last 5 minutes, you can throw that out. Here's the big problem with this slideshow. It's not clickable. You're using all this real estate, and I can't get anywhere. Even if I like this thing, how do I find it? I want to buy this right now. In fact, I'll pay you, whatever it costs, I'll pay you 3 times that much. But where is it? Your only way to find that is then to send me deep into this, and I essentially have to start over. That's a no-no. So I hope that makes sense. I'd like to see this space used for more items, not too many, but enough, at least categories is the way people usually do this. Like, vests over here and jackets over here and purses over there, and then have each of those be clickable right from the start, because you've taken all this space and made it really hard to find what you're merchandising. And again, I can understand you're an artist, you want to show off this beautiful jacket. I think it's a beautiful jacket too, but if I'm a customer, especially if you get most of your traffic because people, or at least a lot of your traffic, because something they have seen on one of our customers, people are already sold on the concept. You need to give them the thing that they're looking for much quicker. Okay, I don't need to beat that to death. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, so next, we've got a lot of choices here. Do you really need all these choices? It's just bewildering for a new arrival. When really what I think you're after is, you can tell me, I don't know your business, but maybe these are each of the categories that you want to have. I wouldn't be surprised if these mirror the categories that you're showing over here, right? Because you've kind of done some of this work in your head, but you've gotten, you're taking it a little easy on yourself by just using a slideshow here. Now the fabrics, this is interesting. This is more like supporting stuff to me, right? Are you actually selling the silk itself? I don't think so. This is more about the behind the scenes of how you do your work, which I agree is very important to you. I don't know if the online shopper cares. When you're at a booth at an art fair, there's probably a lot of discussion about this. It's part of the sale, right? Oh, look at this beautiful fabric. I did this to it. Here's where I sourced it. Then I did this. That's a lot of the tale that goes into the sale of handmade work. I get that. Online, I don't know how interested people are, so I'm not sure it deserves this huge prominence up here. What I'm doing is trying to slim down this nav bar for you. This menu's got too many choices. About Us is great. I'm not sure that's on top. Maybe. Shows, Maybe, maybe not. You know, you don't do that many shows, at least this time of year. That could maybe, I don't know. It's hard to pick these, but there's just too many. You know, there's a couple of stores where people stock this. This to me, find shops, by the way, meant to me is this shopping, or are you actually saying where this is available, right? So this is competing with your own online sales. So that's what they call channel conflict. That's a little confusing as well. Reviews are cool, but again, I'm not sure that's up here. If this is an e-commerce site, I think your design needs to be more like this. Well, even this is a little crowded, right? You want people to buy stuff. So I would slim these down. The major thing, and I'm not sure contact needs, you know, if you've got an about us and a contact, those could probably be merged at a minimum. The big one that I want to complain about is the one that you even asked me about yourself, which is I would like to set up a way for customers to sign up for future email notices. Absolutely. In fact, I would say that the email sign up is the most important topic on this whole site, not even the pictures of your stuff. This little link is actually the future of your business. And it's buried in here. And then you ask for all this stuff. You don't need their address. This is an email list. Are you doing mailing as well? Maybe, but these days, one line, email. That's it. Maybe first name. That's all, okay? You don't need all this other stuff. You don't need all this privacy policy. And, well, I see, okay, so you do postcards. Okay, maybe. I mean, but that's really going to slow people down. I think you could add that as an extra option. Maybe even one of your autoresponder follow-up emails would say, hey, would you also like to join our postal mailing list? I mean, maybe that's your business, but as you know, that's kind of old school. The new school is clearly digital marketing online because it's cheap. So this email sign-up needs to be on the home page. If you stick with the slideshow, it needs to be a whole slide. And rather, I would see this whole slideshow be smaller or replaced, as we talked about, and a big thing right here. I'm talking big, you know, 3 to 5 times the size of the shop button that says, get our emails, and then make some offer, get 10% off, or, you know, get updated so you don't miss my next local appearance, or get previews of my coming fall collection, you know, whatever it is. You got to make that email sound sexy and make an offer, and that is the #1 thing you should be selling on this website. Because if you can get the email address, of course, you can reach out to them repeatedly. If they come to this site and say one time, oh, I don't like that purple thing, I'm out of here, and you didn't get the email address, it's over. Email collection should be by far your #1 priority here. Now you did shoehorn it in again a little bit here, but you know, this small gray on black text, not ideal. You need to make an offer. There should be a graphic, something eye-catching, and really focus on this. While I'm talking about the gray text for a minute, your target audience is women of middle age, it sounds like. This small text, I would consider increasing the font size and definitely increasing the contrast. Gray on black is not easy for usability, from a usability point of view. It's hard to read, and a higher contrast is recommended, as well as bigger fonts, especially for older users or anyone who wears reading glasses. And I'll bet a good chunk of your customers do wear reading glasses, and it would be a lot easier for them to shop with you if they didn't have to put on their reading glasses to buy. Similarly, this little sign up link is tiny, hard to see. That should be a nice graphic, maybe more the size of this Shop Now button. This is not linked. Shop Candice Cole Designs online here. Here? Where? Not here. You mean over here. This whole thing should be linked. You've got to make the hunt for the links a lot easier for people. Now, these are very pretty. Again, no buttons. You've got no calls to action here. How about buy this? You know, or see more at least. Something, you know, what can I do here? This little pop-up? Okay, well, I just clicked on one of these already. You gave me a whole bunch more. All right, well, what if I wanted to buy it? Oh, there it is. I want to buy it now. Now what happens? I still can't buy it. What is this? Well, now I'm looking more pieces. I want to buy this thing. Where is my buy button? I click on it again. No, that's just advancing the slideshow. You see what I mean? I want to buy something. You're making it really hard for me to give you my money. Okay, let's see. Now down here you've got some nice footer stuff. These quick links are very repetitive with the top navigation. I don't think you need all that. This contact us, same thing. I think I would prefer to have you have less links up here at the top, and then make these links larger, easier to read, and include some of that information here. Okay? Now, I don't mean to pick on you too much. It's a very nice looking site, but you asked for feedback on improving your sales, and I think all of those tips would make a big difference for you. Now let's click over and talk about your store for a minute. The store is very nice looking, much higher contrast. I'd still like to see this gray. I'd like to see this reversed, right? It goes black when I mouse over, but how about it does the reverse? It's black when I arrive, and then it goes gray when I mouse over. Again, usability. Guidelines suggest that higher contrast is easier for people to read, especially for the Americans with Disabilities Act. You want to be mindful of people who might have less sight or less acute vision. And again, for an older audience, certainly more contrast and higher fonts is great too. Now, the big problem with your store, here you are doing a lot more of the merchandising that I was suggesting, is that when I come here, again, there are no buy buttons. There's no call to action. I think you're very used to the art fair environment where you're standing there, right? And it's obvious that people have come to shop. They've come to a big fair or an event, and they've tracked down your booth, and they've found you, and you're standing there, probably dressed in one of your very attractive outfits, and you're showing these other outfits. The whole setting, the context is come here and buy. Online, this looks like a museum. You don't have the whole context. They haven't gotten in their car, driven down to the art fair, worked their way through shopping, with a shopping mentality. They're perhaps bouncing around on the internet and they stumble on this, and oh, these are all very pretty. Okay, next, and they're gone. You need some buy buttons, you need some add to cart buttons, you need some marketing here. Sign up for our email list. At least one of these should be get on our email list, and here's why, with some sort of offer. And then you need some buttons that say buy this and how much it is, and get it now, and buy 3 and get 10% off, or whatever. That's silly. Whatever merchandising games you're playing, the things that you say in the booth need to be put on the page here. Unless 100% of your marketing, of course, is by referrals, but I doubt that. And hey, even if it is, wouldn't it be nice to have random people discovering your site through search engine optimization and links and all that sort of thing? If you do that, you need to set it up a little more here. The store is pretty empty, right? Look what happens if I even scroll up and take away the menu. You've got nothing. Okay, so let's click on this. What happens? Okay. Well, this is a whole category, all right? So I couldn't even buy that one. That leads to a category, not an individual. Now if I click on the individual, there. Now finally I get to a buy page. And this is great. You've got the zoom and stuff, and yeah, this is nicely done. Add to cart. This could be bigger and clearer, tiny fonts again, although good contrast on this one. And good details here. This makes sense to me, and you've obviously got a cart implemented. So I buy this, no pun intended, but this part makes sense. But it's an awful lot of work to get here. And even then, it's pretty subtle. I mean, at this point, I guess people have picked up the context, but I'd like to see this add to cart button bigger and more attractive. You'd be amazed at how even playing with the color of an add to cart button can increase your conversions. And that's what this is all about, right? Increasing your sales. Now, I think these tips would probably work for almost any artist. Well, in fact, any store. The things I'm saying I don't think are too controversial. And I hope that it would help you to focus more on the buying experience as opposed to the browsing experience or the gallery type experience. Focusing on selling the stuff generally helps to sell it. I hope that's helpful. Okay, let's see. Now, the last thing I want to talk about was integrating the two a little better. This is all black. This one's all white. It's a little distracting. And you've got a repeated navigation. I'd like to see the navigation in my ideal world slimmed down, so get rid of about half of these and move them down to the footer. And then why not have the store be on a black background or this one be on a white background so that it's similar? It's just a jarring experience. I mean, there's enough design overlap in terms of the logo and stuff that's not, I've certainly seen worse, but I would rather have the customer not realize that they're going from one URL to another, so that you don't need language like this. Click here to visit our new store. That shouldn't be necessary. This should all be the store. It should be a seamless experience. And if I come here and I say this magenta ruffled Coach jacket is what I want, boy, I would like to be able to buy this. And it's really hard for me to do that. So you've got 2 sites now, and I understand that can often be necessary because of the merchandising and e-commerce shopping cart requirements versus the display requirements of a more portfolio-driven site. but I think these two could be integrated more. You've certainly got beautiful sites. You asked me to review them, and so I have. I'm not trying to pick on you. I hope these thoughts are helpful to you. And in particular, the email sign-up, I think, could be an easy change for you that would grow your list. And this is a big tip for anyone who's an artist or anyone online, especially who goes and travels to shows. The older you get, the less shows you're going to want to do. That email list is your IRA. It's your retirement fund. So marketing that email list, getting people to sign up for the email list, okay, maybe you give away some valuable real estate and make a couple less sales here and there, but you get 10 times as many emails. Those emails will come back to fund your retirement, okay, and get you off the road so that you can enjoy doing your beautiful artwork from home and still making a good living online. So if you'd like to follow up with any of that, Candice would be happy to hear from you. ClickMillionaires.com is my forum website, and we have members from all over the world talking about usability issues and website design and building their own internet lifestyle businesses all the time. We'd be happy to have you come on over and let us know that you're a customer of ExpertWebsiteReviews.com, and we'll let you in. And anyone else who reads my books is welcome as well. So I'm Scott Fox. This has been an Expert Website Review for Candice Cole and Candice Cole Designs. Beautiful stuff here from my new friend Candice. I hope that if you're in the market for fashion like this, you'll head on over and check it out and send Candice some business. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you online. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, please leave a comment, share it with your friends, and if you need a video like this for yourself, ExpertWebsiteReviews.com is the place. Thanks for watching.